Alright, welcome to the Oxford Adventures, and in this video we're going to be exploring the city and see what it has to offer. Let's get cracking. Alright, so to start things off with, I thought I'd do a little bit of a time lapse as we're on the way to Oxford. It was a bit of a late afternoon start, a bit grey, but that's classic English weather for you. But I was just buzzing to get away for the weekend, which was nice. The drive was calm, nothing too hectic. A couple of slow bits here and there, but that's to be expected as you get into Oxford and stuff. We had some cracking tunes on, supplied by Sam with his dance music that drove me nuts all the way. But we gloss over that. As we getting into Oxford, you can see that the buildings start to come alive and all the old-timey style buildings start to come out, that oozing out history, which is nice. It's nice to see that it's like stuck in time, Oxford, like a lot of other cities apart from like York and stuff. You don't see that very often now, which is nice to see still. We didn't really exactly know what we were going to do when we got to Oxford. We was planning to park up and go and walk around the town for a bit, but we literally could not get parked anywhere because it was heaving everywhere. So we ended up just going straight to the Airbnb, and we had to wait a bit because it was early, but it was no bother. But when we did get to the Airbnb, we just like quickly unpacked and then just hopped on the bus and got straight into town and got straight out there. So as we was coming to Oxford, I kept seeing these little canals, and I remembered from visiting a previous time that they do little canal tours on like gondolas, or you can get the pedalo boats, and I thought, yes, I want to go and do that, but we didn't get a chance to. So yeah, Sam's sat-nav decided to unstick itself from the car at this point, which was really annoying because I had to hold it the rest of the way, but we glossed over that one. So this is the nice little Airbnb that we stayed at. It was just outside the city centre, which was really nice. It was very close, only a 10-15 minute bus ride. This is the little bathroom, this is the bedroom, this is Sam on his phone, and this is a little kitchen lounge type area. It was small, but it was perfectly fine for what we wanted just for the 2 days, and it was really nice, really clean, really tidy. It was very cozy. Alright, so by this point we're both getting pretty hungry and we're both wanting some scran. So we start looking for somewhere to eat, to be honest, and we came across the Holy Faithful Nando's. And yeah, because why not? We got a bit bored waiting for his food, so Sam started messing around with the tomato ketchup bottle, which I thought looked kind of cool in slow motion. So I had the 4 boneless chicken thighs, and Sam had the quarter chicken, I believe, which was really nice, and can't fault it. So I remember from a previous time going to Oxford that there was this amazing little market called the Oxford Gloucester Green outdoor market. It was starting to get a bit late in the afternoon, so some of the traders were beginning to pack down already, but the square was still like buzzing with energy. The air still carried the lingering aroma of sizzling street food from like fragrant Thai curries, some nice spicy Indian dishes, and some juicy burgers and crispy golden falafel, that sort of stuff, offered by a rotating like mix of local chefs and independent vendors. Though a few stalls have already closed, we still found plenty to explore, like racks of vintage clothing and tables stacked with like nice handbooks, hand jewellery, and some stalls that were like eco-constructed like home goods, which I thought was cool. The atmosphere, even in the wind down phase, was like quite lively and welcoming still, with some street musicians playing it softly in the background, with a steady stream of like students, some locals, some tourists like weaving in and out of stalls, which was nice to see. And I was kind of gutted in a way, because I was like, if I'd remembered that this place was here, I would have come and like had some food here instead of going to like Nando's. So it's like supporting like local like food vendors and stuff. But I completely forgot. But it is what it is. So this is the Bodleian Library. It is an amazing and beautiful looking building. But I'm going to tell you a little story first. Beneath the towering Gothic arches of the old Bodleian Library, where students and scholars have walked for centuries, whispers of the past still seem to echo through the stone corridors. One such story tells a curious undergrad in the 1800s who graduated special permission to study in the library of Duke Humphrey's reading room, a rare privilege for the time. Each evening, as the light dimmed and the silence settled in, he'd begin to notice a faint scratching on the side of his reading desk. At first, he thought it was his imagination, but after several nights, he traced the fingers along the wood and discovered an old message carved directly into the oak. "We see the same stars." 1621. Intrigued, He checked the library's records and found that the desk had once been used by a young woman, scholar, unusual for the time, who was rumoured to have snuck into the library to study under the cover of darkness, forbidden by the rules of her day. She had left behind tiny hidden notes in Latin and Old English, tucked into the margins of the books, signed only with her initials. The students spent the rest of their years piecing together her coded messages scattered across volumes still on the shelves. Some say he eventually published them under his own name. Others claim he never left Oxford, forever lost in conversation with a mind from the past, linked by shared curiosity and the quiet, magical atmosphere of one of the oldest libraries in the world. Okay, so I am going to tell you some actual facts of the Bodleian Library. The Bodleian Library is one of the oldest and most prestigious libraries in the world, founded in 1602 by Sir Thomas Bodley, after he restored it and expanded Oxford University's medieval library, which had fallen into disuse. Situated in the heart of Oxford, it quickly became a cornerstone of scholar life and had since grown in a vast library system, with over 13 million printed items. In 1610, it granted legal depository status, allowing it to claim a copy of every book published in UK, a right that it still holds today. The original old Bodleian building includes the Divinatory School, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture. It also holds the Duke of Humphrey's reading room, the oldest reading room in the university, dating to the 15th century. Throughout its history, the library has served not only as a sanctuary of learning, but also as a symbol of enduring power and knowledge and preservation.
This is a service mark.
Cheers, mate, thank you. Okay, so we are going to make some brownies and some cookies. Starting off, you're gonna make some brownies.
Why do I have to go first?
Because you got the brownies out first.
What about now?
So, you just need water and a flat baking tray. Step
Which
one,
is here.
stir cooking mix in water in a large mixing bowl with a spoon, and okay, we can do that. So now I need 30 ml or 2 tablespoons of water. That doesn't seem like a lot.
We'll see, won't we?
What are we going to be having for dinner?
Burger King, though.
But what have you gone for?
Big, what the hell have I ordered? I'll have a look.
So I've added the water in. I don't know if there is any spoons. No, we've got a spatula. We're just going to have to go old school and mix it with a tablespoon.
Bacon double cheese XL meal.
Oh,
That's
we
what
need
I've gone
to
for.
set the oven, don't we?
That'd be handy. That'd be
190.
bloody handy.
We are kind of cheating a bit by just buying
Very much
a
pre-made
pre-made.
kit. That is what we do.
Because we couldn't be bothered to do an actual one because that's too much effort, isn't it? I'm going to put a bit more water in.
Yeah.
What do you got to do in your brownies?
So, brownies. Preheat the oven, which I've been pretty much around the same minute. Yeah.
Mine's 190.
This is 180.
Mm-hmm.
Assemble the there's like a cardboard tray in here that you have to build up.
Mm-hmm.
And you place it on the baking tray.
Yeah.
In a small microwave bowl, empty this in little chunky chunks and add the butter. Microwave on full power for 30 to 60 seconds. Stir and occasionally till the chocolate and butter has melted, and then leave it to one side.
Mm-hmm.
Empty the brownie mix into a mixing bowl and add the eggs.
Yeah.
Then mix with a wooden spoon until fully combined, and then fold the chocolate and butter mixture in with the brownie mixture to combine them both together.
Mm-hmm.
Then pour all of that into that little cardboard tray,
Yeah.
and then bake in the centre of the oven for about half an hour.
Nice.
So it says 25 to 20 minutes, it's basically half an hour. Then remove from the oven and leave to cool completely in the baking tray. And warning, do not eat raw. But I'm pretty sure that would be common sense with eggs.
Yeah.
Even though I still do it.
Okay. This is
That looks better.
feeling. So I'm gonna get the butter.
You have to add butter to it?
What?
You have to add butter to it.
No. I'm greasing the
Oh, the tray, yeah.
tray because this is not the correct baking tray. But this is all we've got, so we're making do with what we've got. Nice big thick coating. Oh yeah, get it rubbed in. Oh yeah. Okay. too sticky. Okay, that will have to do. I ain't gonna wash my hands. Okay, we're gonna resume when the oven is up to temperature. Okay, so the oven is warm now.
Finally. It's only taken us about 6 years for it to warm up.
Yes, let's put it in. How long does it say?
10 to 12 minutes, is it? So,
10 to 12 minutes. Can you set a timer on that? That's the most gayest sound ever.
sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, they need a little bit longer. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, they look a lot better.
Yeah. So we need to leave them to cool. Just do a bit hot at the moment.
Bake for approximately 10 to 12 minutes until edges are firm. For crispier cookies, bake 2 minutes longer. Cool 1 minute before removing from baking tray and transfer to cooling rack.
Don't have one. Don't have a cooling rack.
Nice. And I just melted my sunglasses.
Okay, so we have our cooling rack now. I've acquired a cooling rack from the oven.
Hey, you cooked at the same time. Oh no.
And this is why you use baking paper, but we don't have baking paper. They look quite good then. We'll leave them to cool and come back when they're cool for taste test. Okay, so they have cooled and we're gonna try one. I'm gonna slap one in. Oh. Cute a bit.
And not too crispy, not too soft. Done well there.
Yeah, let's see if you can do it. It's gonna be interesting you doing it.
Do you want a punch?
Okay, so it's your turn now.
Unfortunately, yes.
So I'm
So
gonna
you
leave
see
it
I'm
to it.
making brownies.
It's not gonna go well.
Probably not, no, because it is me after all. So, got a tray to, what?
I'll be putting the oven back on.
No. I've got to build this tray up first. I'll figure out how to do this then.
Oh, is it like
And you make,
a cake type one?
yeah, you put this on that baking tray when you put it in the oven. Place on the baking tray. Yep. Small microwavable bowl. Into the chalky chunks. Have we got scales?
No,
Oh, great.
you're gonna have to wing it.
This is probably going to be really buttery.
How much was does it say?
50 grams.
50 grams?
Yeah.
Crikey, you want a lot, don't you?
Hmm?
So that's that much. I will cut 50 grams off.
Thanks. Yeah, I need to get in.
Well done.
Yeah. Normally you'd weigh the butter, but we don't have scales in this place, so that'll do. We'll just wing it.
On paper, they put the lovely measurements on for you, so I've cut it to where it says 50.
Fair enough.
Is it going in there?
Yeah. And but now microwave it on full power for 30 to 60 seconds, stirring occasionally toward chocolate and melt. I did this earlier. Toward chocolate and the butter melt.
Nice.
Where's that mixing bowl gone? Wow, who designed this cupboard? Really? Do you not have any scissors in here?
Scissors?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not any in there.
No.
Always come prepared. Once a scout, always a scout. Are you wanting it as a slit or the whole thing?
The whole thing, so well, it just needs to go in this bowl.
That looks grim.
I know.
Oh!
You turn that back to 0. Ding.
Can't believe you put it on for 30 minutes.
Shows you how much I do this stuff. Be prepared to have fucking eggshells.
Do you know how to crack an egg?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
I have done this before, you know. Just because I'm a lazy ass cowboy. I do know how to cook some things.
Bin's behind you.
What, has it been there all that time?
Poor dad joke.
2 Eggos. Now I need to wash my hands because I hate raw eggs on my fingers. It's now mix them together, don't I? Yeah, we've got a wooden spoon or something. Yes, we do. Haha.
Didn't see that, Ellie.
Right there.
Oh, blind. I've mixed this in a bit better now.
So,
Looks a lot better. Yeah?
you could ask that. You want to do it?
No, it's alright.
Yeah, just walk away.
I'll just go by the view out the window.
Yeah, out the window of not our house. Hashtag not our house.
Yeah. Hashtag Airbnb.
Yeah.
Hashtag in a shed.
Hashtag Oxford.
Hashtag Oxford.
I'm going to pour that in whilst I'm mixing it. I'll do. It's now like 12:30 at night now because of that.
Nah, it's not.
It is.
So what happens after this?
Put it into that, and then put it on the back onto the baking tray where it was. Then that goes in the oven for 25 to 28 minutes. And it should come out like a brownie,
One
supposedly.
mega brownie
yeah.
that you cut up into little slices.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, that's the finishing. That's what it's supposed to look like. It looks like running crap, but there you go.
Add it into the paper tray.
Put it in on the thing first.
This is where it all goes wrong.
Yeah, you hold it.
Just as bad as me.
Shut up.
What about me taking my time?
There you go.
Lovely.
See that now, to put that in the oven. So now this, that goes in the oven. If you can see that, I don't know if you can or not, camera's gone off. That's how you know.
We will resume when it's cooked.
So this is not, you're not supposed to do this.
So the brownies finished cooking now. I'm just gonna get them out. Put it on top of that. Leave it to set for a bit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Okay, so we have waited like
Ages.
30 minutes, 40 minutes for it to cool. It's still a little bit warm, but
No, we'll be fine enough.
we're gonna get it open.
Yeah.
I'll leave you to it.
You're trying some as well.
Yeah, you gotta get it out the box first.
No, you have to leave it in there.
Why?
Literally, that's how you leave it in there. That's a spoon, that's a fork. Leave it. How are we going to take it late home tomorrow?
I just want to have a look at it.
It's literally a brownie.
Do that now.
Oh my god, you do it. You're so bossy.
You want nice even squares.
I ain't asked. Cut and then cut one of them in half. Just cut that one in half. So not much.
There you go.
It's quite nice, isn't it? Can't see this one. So go back to this one again. Not bad. Then saying it's I don't cook. Nice.
They're alright. They're missing that chocolatey gooiness. It tastes like a cake. What score would you give it out of 10? 1 being bad and 10 being good.
7.
A 7. Give it a 5, yeah.
Like your cookies.
Probably give them a 5.5. About you.
About the same. I'd say about 6, 7. They're nice. They are nice.
They are nice, but the cookies I've had some good ones. Nice. And that is the cooking done with. Okay, so this is the second day now, and it is a bank holiday Sunday, which we both completely forgot about, and hence why there wasn't really much open. So we decided to go for a wander around all the lovely old streets of Oxford, taking the sights and sceneries. So we looked at some of the tours that was on for today, that was running because it was a bank holiday Sunday, and we found the Oxford prison. That is no longer a prison anymore, it's a hotel and does tours and stuff, but it was a prison up to the early 90s, I believe. But we decided to go for a little spot of lunch, darling, before we went on the tour. We both had paninis, which was really nice. And it was in this little like street side cafe type thing. It was really nice.
But you didn't try.
For some reason there was ducks in the city centre, I don't know why. But this is the prison. So the prison was originally Oxford Castle, and it was built in 1071 by the Norman baron Robert Diorly, shortly after the Norman conquest of England. While it began as a Morton Bailey castle, much of it was later repurposed as part of the Oxford County Prison, starting in this 13th century. It remains a working prison, HM Prison Oxford, until it was closed in 1996. One of the oldest serving parts of the castle is St George's Tower, believed to be predated to the Norman construction and possibly part of an early Saxon structure. The tower also served both as a defence watchtower and a place of worship. Much of the prison that stands today reflects the Victorian era expansions. The prison was reconstructed with new wings, solitary confinement cells, and a central tower. After closing in 1966, the site was redeveloped and reopened as a hotel and heritage attraction in the early 2000s. So the lovely lady that was giving us the tour is talking about Matilda, who was a former prisoner at the Oxford Castle prison.
Ab sailed down the side until she reached the ground. She saw the River Thames right next to us had frozen over, and from there, ice skated 9 miles to Abingdon Abbey into safety along the river. Very impressive and elegant. Maybe has to romanticise a little bit, but still impressive. The war carried on for 10 more years after that, and then it was agreed it had to end. It was too long. So it was decided that Stephen would be king until his death, but when he died, the crown would not go to his son and heir, but to Matilda's son Henry. So that was the compromise. And even though Matilda didn't become queen herself, she did sort of win. She made sure her son was Henry II. He started the Plantagenets, longest ruling family in British history. It's actually quite a pivotal person in British history.
So one of the things that you're going to see in a second is these like circle-looking things in the ground. You can see just here. And this was one of the old school like punishments that they had in the prison. So it was like a T shape, like wooden thing coming out the ground, and they would basically push that round in a circle for hours on end every day, and it was to pump water up to the top of the tower and to provide water for the castle, basically. But it was one of the punishments that they had in place. One of many. There was a lot of different punishments that they used to give the prisoners, which was quite cruel. I think the lady told us some as young as like 13 were doing all these different punishments and stuff, and there was prisoners in there as young as like 6 or 7. Obviously they didn't do all these harsh punishments, but they were sent to do some punishments like the laundry and stuff. But once you were 13, you were considered as some sort of an adult, so you was put on the like heavy punishments.
So, welcome to St George's Crypt, part of St George's Chapel. The chapel would have been above us, but hadn't been for parliamentarians destroying it in the Civil War. And the foundations of the chapel we walked through just now, that corridor. So this was all discovered by Daniel Harris, the prison governor here in the 1790s. He really wanted to improve his prisons. He built a new building, which has currently got our heads to today, D-Wing. As he was digging underground to get into the foundations of D-Wing, he unexpectedly found this. It would have been very exciting. And he realised this was part of the original castle, built by Robert Dawley in 1074. He built the crypt as part of the chapel, and the whole chapel in his castle so the souls could pray. But not just a place of worship, this is also for learning. He established a college. This is actually the first recorded centre of higher education in the city of Oxford. That is older than the current university by about 100 years. So Oxford University, I'm assuming you've probably heard of that? Yes? Hard to miss it when you come to Oxford. It's everywhere. It may never have happened if it hadn't been for the success of St George's College here, maybe. And there was a man who was here in the 1100s who was very influential, helped this place become successful. His name was Geoffrey of Monmouth, a monk and a teacher here, but also a writer. And he wrote a famous book on this site, which was called A History of the Kings of Britain.
It came from Troy.
Anyone? Sorry?
It came from Troy.
It came from Troy.
Geoffrey of Monmouth. He started writing that Brutus was the down.
Oh, yes. You've heard of Geoffrey of Monmouth in the book, yes? Oh, okay. Anyone else heard of that book?
No.
Oh, somebody else over here? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I'm very pleased.
I'm sorry.
But
What do you think to that?
Beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Well, the history is obviously not the actual like cells and that. Horrible, but you know what I mean. So the U got.
It's like okay, so the thing that Sam's picking up at the moment is supposed to represent a cannonball, the weight of it, and they used to make him carry him across the courtyard for no reason, just to punish them. And they also had machines like this where they'd make them do loads of steps and stuff, just again as punishment, not for anything in particular. It did nothing.
Many times a day.
Yeah, but we're not back then, but... No, you do. You're gonna hang somewhere. This is the end of the Oxford Adventures. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you want to see more adventures like this, and I'll see you in the next one.